All right, thanks for joining us for another Spin That Shit podcast. Today's guest is a great dear friend, best friend, known since we were kids. He was in my wedding. So yeah, you get the picture. This guy is my go-to buddy. His dad is an amazing musician. He's been playing bass since he was yay high, way down from the get-go. And he played all kinds of other music, but somehow, some way, he was more comfortable playing the bass guitar in the fiddle position. So he plays underneath instead of over the top. So very interesting. Not a lot of people do that. I can only think of a couple that he mentioned that has done that. I've never seen it. But check out all his stuff on YouTube. Quintin Berry. He also, I call him Cubase. Check him out. YouTube, Facebook. He's got Twitter, those sort of things. But we're going to talk to him about music and what got him going and where he's at now. So stick around. Last but not least, please hit the like button, subscribe, tell everyone we're growing this. We're on the rise. Things are looking good. So I'm happy with the progress. We're going to concerts. If you see us out and about, come say hi. I met some people last night at the Lost Dog show that watched the show. So it's pretty cool. So let's get to the interview. All right, we're here with Quintin Berry, Cubase.
What's up?
We're going to be asking you about, first of all, your playing style, very unique. A lot of people haven't seen that. But first, we kind of want to start at how you got started playing music, where you're from, what inspired you, all that good stuff. Take us down that rabbit hole.
Yeah. I'm from Greenville, South Carolina. And I started playing music around 11, taking music up in school and, doing the band thing and learning different instruments, trumpet, all that kind of stuff, piano, violin, xylophones, doing the whole shebang. Yeah. And but I knew that I love music, but I didn't know that this was going to be who I am today. I didn't know it was going to be a career.
Right.
But at the age of 12, there was a fellow in my class that he was I was in the lower class, but he was in the upper class. And he asked me, did I want to join a band? And I said, yeah, sure. And then he said, what instrument do you want to play, guitar or bass? And I went, what is a bass? I didn't know what a bass guitar was. And so I said, well, I'll play bass. And that's how it all started. And at 12 years old in a band, starting to play bass, my first bass guitar was actually a guitar with just 4 strings on it. 4 big guitar strings on it. That was my first bass.
Yeah. Now, what kind of band was that?
Oh, the band became very popular. It was a R&B funk.
R&B funk type.
Nice.
But the funny thing about it is we did covers and we wrote original songs.
Oh, wow.
And the name of the band was called Brown Sugar.
What a great name.
Yeah, the Brown Sugar. And I was the youngest. And we just started this thing, and it was Bill and Alan and Michael Moore and me at first. And I hope they don't mind using me using the name, but I guess it'll be okay. But it started out with them, and we learned all this music and became a band just playing all around town. And next thing you know, it was starting to blow up. But before it did, we added a keyboard player, which is Willis. And Willis came in, and then it just like complete, because Willis can sing and play keyboards. It just kind of completed the whole thing.
Yeah, the
And
last piece.
yeah, and it just, I'm telling you, man, we opened up for Confunction. We were doing a lot of big opening for big name acts. We played behind Peebo Bryson, which he went to school with my brother. And yeah, I mean, and we were doing all this kind of stuff. I was doing all this kind of stuff 12, 13, 14 years old.
That's
awesome.
And we would do a lot of big block parties today and block parties back then. It's like, I kid you not, the block parties we would play at, it'd be like almost 10,000 people.
Dang.
Out at a block party. This all black folks. No guns shooting, no shit. Everybody just having a good time. I'm pretty sure some shit probably jumped off. I didn't see it. But I'm just saying, it was like that. It was in some part of the hood, which I can't tell you where it was, but it was like a sea of folks. And that's what I did when I was young. I was doing all that kind of stuff.
It's amazing. So you didn't know what the bass was. So who were you listening to early on to try to figure out what to do with this thing?
I wasn't. That's the thing. I wasn't listening to nobody. But once I figured out what the bass was and what it was doing at a young age, then I started zooming in. I think what helped me really learn out what a bass was, because I had to learn all these songs. And I had to learn my bass parts. And so I'm learning like Earth, Wind, and Fire. I'm learning Al Green. I'm learning all these soul tunes that's what we did and whatever else. And I'm learning the bass lines to them. And then Brothers Junction and, Sly Stone and all that. I mean, I had to learn how to do that. Nobody taught me how to do that. I had to teach myself how to figure out how to do that. But once I started learning how to do it, then I started thinking about who's playing this stuff.
Right.
And that's when I started learning about bass players. And I was going, oh, okay.
It's like a whole nother world.
Wow. Yeah, but back then it was James Jamerson, Motown. Willie Weeks, my dad, Willie Weeks, man, you know that? I'm going like, who the hell is a Willie Weeks? I mean, but that was my thing. But then I found out who he was, and then it just kept going on and on and on. And I started learning about bass players and styles. And I played so much cover music and taught myself how to play. And one day I just would take my bass guitar and walk around the neighborhood, and I would just be practicing by myself, just making noise, just playing. I wasn't playing like this a whole lot, but I was just doing this, just thumping it and trying to figure out who I am with the damn thing. It took a life of its own. It really did.
So when you started playing, you were playing it the traditional way most people play it.
Yeah.
Now you have a unique style that you developed, or did you develop? I don't know many people that play like
I developed that style of playing during the years that I was telling you about playing instruments. Viola was one of them. And I took the bass and thought that I could play it like this. Mm-hmm. And I just started doing it because I was joking around with country music. Hey, I was just joking around. I was joking around. And then next thing you know, I went like, and I noticed it, okay. And I just kept doing it. And I thought nothing about it. I'll do it a little bit and then go back to regular, a little bit. And by the time I was 18 and I left home and joined a road band, I was doing that a little bit, but I started doing it more. And one of the agents saw me doing it, and he told the band leader, he said, "Hey, tell your bass player not to play like that. It don't look good."
Ah,
So yeah, that's exactly what he said. And my words were, you tell him to go. Can I curse on it?
yeah, you can say whatever you want.
I said, you tell him to go fuck himself. That's. But he was a bass player, and so I'm going like, you can't tell a little kid that just came from the hood out in the world thinking you can tell him what to do. That just don't work. The shit that I've been through and seen, I just don't fly with me. Plus, he was white. I'm not prejudiced or nothing, but still, that shit just didn't fly. So,
Yeah.
and then I took it. I took it. I was like, you know what? If I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do it.
Right.
And so I started just like woodshedding and doing everything, and do the things that start coming out. And then I noticed the attention I was getting when I was performing. And I was like, this guy's crazy, man. There was no internet. There was none of that.
Yeah.
Me traveling in a band. I'm the only Black guy in the band. It's been like that most of my life, except for the band Brown Sugar I was in. When I got out on the road, I was in all white bands, and I played all rock and stuff, which I would not change that
Right.
to save my life, because that's what gave me the music that I wouldn't have never thought about listening to.
Right.
Or stuff. To this day, there's nothing that I can't play.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Or nothing that I won't listen to or give a chance. I don't discriminate
Right.
against nothing. I just don't, because of that. And I'm so happy that happened to me, because, a lot of folks don't know that I'm a metalhead. They have no idea that I listen to, I've done so much stuff, and I listen to rock and metal, and to this day I still do. And don't think that I can't play it, because I can,
What? Name some bands. Let's.
Well,
Because I was metal.
well, this is how it started. 15 years old. This band came to Greenville, South Carolina. This band is called Mother's Finest. They're from Funk Rock, Georgia. I had never seen a mixed band before. So you got a Black bass player, a Black lead singer, a Black female lead singer, Black keyboard player, and you got a white guitar player, and you got a white drummer. Dude, I mean, you talking about being turned out, like flipped around, and you don't know what to think. After I saw that, it just blew my mind.
What year was that, roughly?
It had to be around 75 or so.
75.
75, 76, somewhere around there. And when I saw that, I said, that's it right there. Because, that sound, you look up Mother's Finest and you see them in the 70s, and their concert and stuff. But the bass player, his name is Wizard. To this day, me and Wizard are friends.
That's cool.
Go figure. And I never would have thought that would have happened. But because I opened up for him later on in my career, I opened up for Mother's Finest. And I got to know him, and then I told him all this stuff. And he was going like, holy shit. He said, I can't, he said, this is not even happening. He said, this conversation ain't even happening right now. He said, there's no way. He said, I know you're not lying, because I know exactly what you're talking about. And we kind of hit it off, but he saw my style of playing. He said, dude, you are crazy. I said, you don't notice anything? And he go like, what? I said, you don't notice none of your licks? And he said, well, I hear the chord. chords that I said, where you think I got them from? I said, got them from you. And he like tripping. He's going like, I've never had nobody say that to me, like personal. You know, I said, yeah, man. I said, I know we got Larry Graham, we got all that. I said, but you're my like biggest inspiration because of what I saw when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And now it's even more personal because I'm getting to actually know you.
Yeah.
And, when they broke up, he played with Stevie Nicks. He's done all kinds of big things. But when they were Mother's Finest back then, they were opening for like the Rolling Stones. They were doing all kinds of, they were one of those bands that most people don't talk about.
Yeah.
But they were doing that stuff then.
That's wild.
So, and that's what I'm rubbing elbows with, but not knowing what I'm, rubbing elbows with. But yeah, so that started it off. And then, being in the band that I was in, traveling, we did a lot of rock. So I'm playing a lot of covers and I'm playing rock tunes, Bryan Adams. I'm doing everything, and, Rat. Around goes around. That's a video of me doing the 80s dance. But I was going like, man, I'm digging all this shit, all this different music hitting me at one time. And I'm going like, man, this is crazy. But I'm glad it did, because then doing all the rock stuff, as I was approaching 19, 20, I started getting turned on to jazz and listening to that stuff. And that kind of flipped around to Weather Report, all this type of music. Jaco Pastorius, famous bass player. Not knowing that I'm gonna jam with him one day, in which it happened. And I'm like tripping off that, and I'm going like, this is crazy. This is, I'm going like, this is crazy. So we're playing in Deerfield Beach, Florida, and this guy was standing in front of me, greasy hair, just standing in front of me, watching me play. And the drummer, he was Puerto Rican, best friend Frankie. He said, man, that's Jaco. And came out my mouth, I said, yeah, and I'm screwing Olivia Newton-John. And that's that's what I said. And he said, man, I'm telling you that Jaco. I was a little arrogant then, but after that, and it was really him, that's when I learned that you never know who's gonna be out there, and you never know who you're gonna meet.
Yeah.
After that, that's how I learned that. And I mean, nobody told me, hey, you might meet somebody's gonna be out. All my experiences actually had to happen to me. And that's how I, started learning all these things.
Yeah.
But yeah, met Jaco. He talked with the band on break, and he came up to jam. He went right past me. I thought he was gonna play my bass. No, he played keyboards. He sat in on keyboards, and we played Super Freak by Rick James.
Oh, God, yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah. That's what happened. Then afterwards, go down, he's talking to the band, everybody's shaking his hand. I walk up, and I had my hand in my pockets, and he had his hand out, and I didn't pull him out fast enough. And guess what he said? He said, fuck you, man. I was like, whoa, it ain't like that. I just didn't put my hand out my pocket. I still shook his hand. But yeah, he cursed me out. And I mean, he's got 2 sons. I told his son this story, and I'm going like, all this is crazy. But that's when I really learned that you never know who's watching.
Right.
But just to fast forward a little bit, we're talking about the metal thing. So I'm doing that. And then fast forward all the way to, we get into the 90s. I get into grunge.
Yeah.
So
Popular time for grunge.
I'm playing grunge and I'm loving it. I'm stage diving. I'm doing all kinds of shit. You know, I'm doing all that stuff. I got the combat boots, shorts. My wardrobe was just screwed up.
Doc
Because I ain't
Martens.
have no nice clothes. I mean, they were nice, they were expensive, but they just looked grungy.
Yeah.
But that's what I wore the whole time. So I'm playing all of that kind of stuff. And then around 94, 95, I got an offer to move to Minneapolis, getting signed with Sony. So I go up and I joined, and it was an all-black rock band we were called Madman.
Madman?
We playing all rock. Prince came out and watched us play. He was sitting in the back.
No way.
He said, no way.
No.
Yeah, and you know, he was sitting back and do all that stuff. So that's when the metal started droning in on me. And in our rehearsal places, we would practice on what we were doing, but there was other bands rehearsing. I would hear this, and I go, and one morning I went in, I was doing like, I just woke up, you know, I was going like, because I slept in the rehearsal spot, and my head was bobbing. I'm bobbing to this music that I really didn't like, you know, because I didn't, you know, I wasn't used to it, but I woke up doing this. And then I went over to the rehearsal spot and knocked on the door. The band was in there. They said, "Hey, man, how you doing?" I said, "Cool." I said, "So who is that singing?" And it was this little dude. I said, "Well, so what kind of effects you got on your voice?" He said, "None." I said, "What?" And it's just this little dude, you know, doing that kind of stuff. Yeah. And I'm like, that's some crazy shit. I said, "You could do that all night?" He said, "Yeah." And I started hearing that type of stuff. During that same time, Metallica's Black album came out with Sad But True. It just, I mean, I don't know what to tell you, but when I heard it, I was going like, I'm thinking, I said, this is some funk for your ass. You know, and they going like, what you mean funk? This is metal. I said, dude, this shit is funky. I hear the metal tones, but the
yeah, you're feeling the vibe out of it.
Yeah, I'm going like, I said, that's funky, man. I said, y'all don't hear it like I hear it. You know, maybe you don't. But then after that, then I went back and I heard one. Then I'm going, oh, you got to be insane, crazy good to be able to do that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. And so that's when my metal started doing it. And then the band, we were going on tour. It didn't happen. We were going on tour with Metal Church and Motorhead.
Motorhead?
But it never happened. And then we were starting to get some openings with King's X. And that's how my King's X thing started. At this point, I know Doug Penny. You know, from King's X. That was a whole nother, these three guys doing what they're doing. I'm going, God. So, yeah, man. You know, if somebody came up to me and put a funk band and a rock band and a metal band and say, choose which one do you think I would choose? I would choose the rock.
Yeah.
I mean, that's for sure. That's what I mean. I grew up with R&B and everything. I had to find rock. My brother turned me on to rock and roll. And that's what I like. That was my energy. That was my, you know, my craziness, my wildness throughout my career. You know, that's, you know, the girls or whatever, you know, all that shit, you know, it was all of that. And to this day, I might not do it as much, but I still can. And every now and then during my solo gig, I'll break out rock tunes and they go like, damn man, I didn't know you could play that. And I just started laughing. I said, most people don't because I don't do it, you know.
Yeah.
I said, but you know, don't give me a chance to get on the stage with somebody because I will. I mean, especially with somebody big, you know. I would love for Dave Grohl to call me up on the stage, you know.
Those videos, yeah.
Yeah, I said, yeah, call my old ass up on the stage. Hey, we gonna do some shit, you know. We gonna get down.
I think you'd blow his mind if he saw you go up there and do that.
It would just be, it's not even an ego thing. For me, it would just be so much fun.
Yeah.
And it'd just be awesome. So there are a lot of bands that I would love to play with, you know, and do that kind of thing. But, you know, it could happen, it might not happen. But I just keep doing what I'm doing, you know, and just keep rolling, keep my chops up. But I am a rocker. I like metal, you know.
So how many years have you been playing?
40.
Like professionally, I guess you could say.
47.
47 years.
Since 12. I've been playing professionally since 12.
That's wild. Okay, so you play a lot of different styles of music. So when you look at a bass part, what makes a bass part good? Is it the tech to you? Is it the technique? Is it the groove fitting in the song? What stands out?
I think a good bass line is the way the person, whoever's playing it, take the notes and take the bass and put it with the song. It don't have to be slapping or nothing. I'll give you a good example. Stone Temple Pilots. I love that bass player. I mean, when you listen to that music, you listen to how he's moving with the vocals and the way that stuff just goes. I go like, damn. It's cool.
Yeah.
And that's why I love that band and everything that the singer has done so far. I kind of follow and I dig it. That's just one example, but it depends on, you know, the bass player. You know, when you had Nirvana doing, and he's playing along with the guitar, but still,
Yeah.
that's just a cool ass lick, you know.
So what about punk rock though? Like I could see you really get where they have the, you know, the guitar and the bass player are running in together. Then all of a sudden the guitar just stops and the bass guy has his own little section of whatever. That's like his time to shine for a minute.
Hold on for 1 second. Give me a minute.
Okay. Getting that bass out. Dun dun dun.
Well, you know, punk rock.
I'll have to turn it way down with the internet. It's hard to hear it.
You can't hear it?
Nope, it's too much for the computer speaker.
It is.
Maybe turn it all the way down and see if you can.
That's what I do.
There we go.
Can you hear that?
Yep.
Yeah, you know, I didn't play a whole lot of punk rock, but I can. And the bass lines were, it depends on what style and what band, but the bass didn't move a lot, I don't think. I think they kind of held down.
Yeah.
You know, that it was that type of run that I got mostly out of punk rock. So that kind of made it easier to learn a song like that because there wasn't a whole lot of changes.
Right.
So, but I didn't listen to a whole lot, and most of the bands we didn't play a whole lot of punk rock, maybe, unless it was a big hit. Like, you know, I don't know if Debbie Harry was, you know, considered punk rock. You know, she wasn't like hardcore punk rock, you know, not that I know of. But the Ramones, you know, that was
Right.
so I listened to that, whatever hit they had. I guess we would learn that. But like I said, it was kind of easy because there wasn't a whole lot of changes going on.
It's like, you know, 3 or 4 bar chords with the guitar too. And I mean, I think that's the essence of punk. Just get out there and put it together.
Yeah,
Not
Right.
really technical.
but it's like I said, it's nothing that I couldn't tackle or do back then or now because I like so many styles of music and I like my metal, and punk rock kind of falls into that a
Right.
little bit, you know. And yeah, I think it would be more difficult on the guitar side of it
Mm-hmm.
than the bass guitar side of it.
What are your
Okay. What
thoughts?
about, let's say, country music?
Oh man,
We have a
now
lot of
got-
country guests on this podcast.
So it now, what kind of country we talking? We
Oh,
talking
man.
old
I like it
school?
all. Well,
The-
we're into the older stuff. I mean, for me, I don't care about the radio stuff that's going on these
I
days.
know, okay, because I mean, because the newest stuff is like 80s rock that I used to play.
Yep.
Yeah, I was gonna say. more-
And, you know, and I listen to it, but like, and then you go like,
How about Johnny Cash? He had some heavy bass notes. It's cut now. I can't hear you.
can you hear it?
No. I'd turn it almost all the way down. Nothing. You got an acoustic guitar?
Oh yeah, I have an acoustic.
That might work without any amp. Yeah, these little computers, they don't hold up too good with all that noise.
Well, you almost have to. I'm on my end doing it. If I'm doing a lot of stuff like that, I will have to set up the Zoom so that everything's coming through the board.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And this is my. Can you hear that?
Yeah. It's cutting out a little bit.
I think it's too fast.
As far as Johnny Cash. Now,
Oh yeah.
You want to hear a funny story? At one of my NAMM shows, I was endorsed by Vaccaro basses, guitars. And we were in Nashville. And I was out listening to a lot of other music. And I went to listen to this bluegrass thing. And out comes this cat, because I like bluegrass, and out comes this cat, and I'm looking at it, and it was Billy Bob Thornton. And and he was doing this thing, and I'm sitting right in the front, and I'm like, holy shit. But then I get this call from the son of Vaccaro, Henry Vaccaro Jr. He said, hey man, what you doing? I said, I'm out with somebody's listening to some bluegrass. He said, oh man, trying to catch up with you. We getting ready to have dinner with Johnny and Jim. They were inviting me to go to Johnny Cash's house in June, and I missed that.
Oh man,
I
would have dropped everything.
Well, I mean, it was kind of like too late, But I'm like, how the hell did I miss that?
That's wild.
But yeah, that happened. I mean, it's been everything. I guess kind of happens for a reason, but all these people that my endorsements and I'm hanging with, they rub shoulders with these guys. Henry Vaccaro Sr., him and Johnny Cash were like buddies.
Right.
I'm like in his company, and he's turning me on to all of this, and it just started snowballing, and I didn't get any hits, but while I was with that company, the only big hit that I got that didn't happen was I was going to be Billy Idol's bass player.
Oh wow.
Man.
Yeah, it was Billy, me, Steve Stevens. They sent me the music and everything, and it didn't happen.
Were you heartbroken?
I'm just that guy that I'm happy that things are happening, but I don't fully let it get here until it actually happens.
Right.
If it don't happen, I'm not like, I go, oh, yeah, okay. Well, there we go. And I just keep moving.
That's part of the business, I'm sure.
Yeah, but some people get heartbroken because they think, but I don't, because that's something you're not in control of,
Yeah.
Right.
So,
you don't know what's next either.
So yeah, I just kind of but it was there. It was getting ready to happen, and a lot of people don't know that,
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to do this book, and I'm trying to write all this stuff in it. I've been procrastinating lately here because of my health issues. I'm trying to figure that stuff out, but I'm gonna get this stuff done and talk about it and write about it, and it's gonna be all good. But I still can't complain about my musical career, man, because it's just been fun.
Yeah.
And I've made money, and I've done what I could, and I supported my family, tried to take care of Tyler the best way I could. He turned out great. So, I mean.
Tyler, he's let's see, probably around 99 or 2000 is when he told me about you playing music, and he had a picture of you on the wall, little signed autograph picture, black and white, and you were holding the bass a certain way, and that's why I was like, what is going on here? And then he showed me he had this aqua youth size bass, smaller. It was like an aqua bass that you had gave him. And we played around there, and we thought we were in a grunge band too, out in the garage. Me and him. That's where. Then I started playing a little bit of bass in a punk rock band for a little bit. Then now I'm at I play the banjo now. So I've told.
Oh, that's cool, because banjo is a beautiful instrument.
Oh yeah.
You can do a lot with that.
But yeah, Tyler gets a lot. I'm sure I feel like the direct connection between you guys, the music, he likes everything, all types of music. We've been talking a lot lately about Charlie Crockett, and we're supposed to go to the show. We might go to the show tomorrow if he can get off work. But ever since we were young, he would be talking about, some of the older guys and jazzier stuff and this. And when I first met him, he was into metal. We were playing basketball, and he was playing a cold chamber, like alternative metal That's pretty heavy stuff, you know, and we were like digging it as loud as
I
we could
mean,
play it in the house.
To me, this is my deal. If you're gonna be in a cover band, that's what that word means, cover. And if you're gonna be in a cover band, you gotta be able to cover whatever it takes
Yeah.
to get the job done. It doesn't necessarily mean you have to like it, but you should be able to cover it. But don't say, I don't want to do it. Don't not do that. Everything that I dig, that's because I just let it in. I said, okay, I'm gonna learn this and do it. As soon as I learned it, I'm like, damn, I like this. You know, because you don't know what you don't like, you know, don't know what you like
Right.
until you try it, you know. And after I noticed that I was liking all this metal and all these different styles of music, you know, I'm just not. Now that's one style of music that Tyler turned me on to. He turned me on to dubstep.
Some wild stuff. Yeah.
Dubstep.
And only one that I got into was Skrillex. And then I started listening to Skrillex, and I seen how he was doing his stuff. I like it, but then after 30 minutes of it, it all sounds the same.
Yep.
And then I said, whew, I can't take no more of this. And it's not that I don't like it, but I can only listen to it for
long period of time.
Yeah.
You gotta be in a mood, certain mood.
Yeah. I mean, if you out partying with your friends, you don't think about the time. You're just having fun. But if you sitting in the car listening to that, you go, okay. All right. I gotta switch this up. Yeah.
Exactly.
But yeah, that's the only style. But the reason why I dug it because I'm a Nine Inch Nails fan.
Yep. Trent Reznor did a lot with.
He was there before. I mean, if you listen to dubstep and you listen to Trent Reznor, it's really no different. The only difference is that dubstep turn it up in your face a little bit more.
Yep.
Yeah. The timings. And speed.
Yeah. It's like all that is in your face. Trent's is in a musical
soundscape, sort of.
Yeah. So, you know, I'm going like, man, I do a mashup in my solo.
We can still see you.
You can still see me?
Yeah.
Why can't I see you?
You must have hit a button. Or your computer went to sleep or something.
I mean, I didn't. Oh, okay. I see what it is. It just covered the screen up. That's all. I can see you now. But okay. I did a just imagine, I'm not gonna play it. I do a mashup of Get Up, James Brown, Get Up, Get On Up, Get Up, Get On Up. I do a mashup with Nine Inch Nails, Closer, and James Brown.
What?
Yes.
Now you're talking. Mixing it.
Oh my God. People here, they just freak out. They go like, they say, no way you playing that. I say, yeah. But I don't sing. And only part that I'll sing of the Nine Inch Nails are, you put me closer to God. That's the only thing that I'll say. And they'll just freak out over it.
Yeah, because that's a catchy line in that song.
Yeah, and then I'll go back, get up, get on up. And then you hearing Closer. I'm singing this to Closer.
That's dope.
It's dope, man. It's dope. I don't know what made me do it. I just I guess I was just sitting around. I was going like, you know what? That's just too good to not do something with. And I was just trying to think of what could I do with it, because the words and closer is, I want to fuck you, like, you can't be singing that
Yep.
out. It's I said, the music is too dope to not do. But what can I do lyrically? And that's when the James Brown came in. And
I like it.
Yeah, so it keeps it, everybody knows what the song is, but they know what James Brown is. So they just use their own imagination with it,
Right.
And I'm just having a ball with it. And that's what I do with my music when I'm doing the solo stuff. I kind of mix stuff in, not all of it, but some things.
Right.
And have fun with it, because playing to tracks can be boring.
Yeah.
And that's what I do, but I try to loop certain things. I'll loop what's the I'll give you a good example. Then I just change it. Today is gonna be the day they're gonna throw it back to you. By now you should have somehow realized what you're not to do. I don't believe that anybody feels the way I do about you now. I do stuff like that. I have a lot of folks come up, they say, dude, that's the darkest, badass, because, when I'm doing it live, I have all these sounds.
Yeah.
And it'll be going, woo, 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 woo. I play it dark, and I like to change the music. I mean, these artists, they don't like these songs no more, so what the hell?
They're sick of hearing it.
I know. That's why I said, you know what? I do. When you're here before,
Breathe.
I couldn't look you in the eye, just like an angel. Skin makes me cry, flow like a feather in a beautiful world. I wish I was special.
I love that part.
But you see what I mean?
Yeah.
You just take these songs that everybody still likes, and they don't like them. But I mean, I get it when you could play, because they push you when you got a hit like that, and that's all you play when you out on the road, and you just get sick and tired of hearing it. But what I don't get is how you gonna hate it.
Yeah.
How you gonna hate something that you wrote that made you who you are?
And all that money.
Yeah, but I can understand you saying, I so much love that tune did what it did for us, and I could never hate it, but I do not want to play it no more, because there's this other stuff that I know. I get that, but not, if I play this song, I'm gonna throw up. How you gonna feel that way when you got millions of fans out there? If you play that song, they go nuts.
Yep.
You would think that that's what it's about. After you did that song and you touch people, it ain't about you no more.
True.
You shouldn't have wrote the tune. I mean, it's just not. it's not about you no more. You know, when you got people that love a song that much, you should, I mean, I get it all the time. I'm living in Alabama. I hear all these bands around here. They go like, dude, if I play Leonard's Sweet Home Alabama again, we don't play Sweet Home Alabama. You know, and I'm going like, that's what they want. They want to hear the song. You know how to play it. I mean, it's like selling out playing. I'm going like, you wish that you had a song that would last that long that people would still love. You wish. You know, and you know, I have Sweet Home Alabama on dial in my little iPad. It's an instrumental. I don't sing it, but they say, man, can you play Sweet Home? I say, sure. I say, I don't sing it, but it's an instrumental. It's all, we don't care. And I'll hit it and play it. Dude, $100 tip. I mean, I'm going like, it's not, you know, that's what I'm there for.
Right.
I'm not there to say no.
Right.
But I guarantee you, I can make these people, even though it's an instrumental, I say, you know, I'm gonna play this, but I want to hear y'all sing it, and I'll be damned. And that's how you get people in, and they start, and you can play anything from here on out, and they're gonna love it.
Yeah, you want them over.
Yeah, exactly. So it's all about that, not the other way around.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on so doing a cover song? Do you feel like you should play it note for note, or you put your own little spin on it?
I think that you should learn a tune, and once you have learned that tune and you know it well enough, you could do whatever you want to do with it. It don't have to be from note from note. As you can see, that wasn't you know,
right.
That's not even close to what the song is. I just changed it up, you know, and it's like the mashups that I do. I do a song called Skin Tight by Ohio Players. But guess what I play it to? I play it to Big Joe. Dun, 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 dun. Lean back, lean back. But I sing a funk song over that. So you can take, you can take music and do what you just got to know how to do it. And
right.
You can't be afraid to do it and just do it. It's not like you changing anything because these songs were already hits. You just taking them and having fun with them at this point.
Yeah.
And, you know, I don't, you know, there's no way I can say try to play it from note to note. It depends, you know, if you want to. And that depends on the band that you're playing with. If everybody's that anal about playing everything from note to note, I mean, I guess you'll just do it, you know, because you want to fit in the band.
Right.
But if everybody's loose,
that's when it's most fun.
Have fun with it.
Mm-hmm.
You can really, really. I went out and sat in with a band in Mobile. I love these guys, but I did a song by Prince. I took. I did it blues. You see what I mean? You can take a song and do what you want to do. You just got to know how to do it, you know. And they were like, man, that was Prince blues. And the guys, we never played together. And they were like, but they're good. Yeah. And they were playing blues guitar. They were going, they were just playing blues with what I was singing. And people were just going like, holy, sitting in the bar, just clapping and jumping up. Because they ain't never heard nothing like that before. And trust me, I was just sitting there watching them and I thought that in my head off the cuff and got up there and did it. But
Hey, whatever works.
well, it works when you play with people that are good.
Right.
You say, hey man, I just thought I said we're gonna do this. And they knew what I was doing, but they didn't know what I was gonna sing.
Right.
But then when they weren't like, it's it, and they just start getting into it.
You just have to say, oh, this is a blues and A or whatever, and go with it.
Yeah, they knew what to do after that. And I knew that good. I said, you know what? I'm not gonna worry about them. You know, they gonna know what to do once I do it. And it was just fun. And if we messed up, guess what? Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
I wasn't getting paid for it, and I'm just having fun. So, and they didn't mind. So
Try something new. Yeah.
yeah, it's just all good. It's
So-
kind of what I do.
So we do these like kind of quick questions.
Okay.
Just a few. And you can answer them. The first one is, you pretty much, I think you already said it, but if there's one artist you could work with, who would it be?
Woo.
There's so many.
As well, I mean, I've been close to working with one, but you know, it's funny and strange, but I don't know why I think the way that I think, but for some reason, I would love to actually play with Paul McCartney.
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah.
I mean, even though I know he plays bass, but he plays guitar too, you know, but just to be able to play with him and behind him, just because, I mean, you talking about a bass player that the whole world, even today, melodies that we have ripped off from
Yep.
what they've done.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's crazy. But here's the twist on that. I know we say that Paul McCartney did a lot of that stuff, but here's the thing. You got this young white lady back in the day, Carol Kay, that
Yep.
she did all the Beach Boys stuff and whatever else.
Yep.
You know, that was her
She was
making these bass lines. Yeah, this is a woman. And you go like, and they copying from what she done, you know.
The Wrecking Crew.
Huh?
The Wrecking Crew.
Yeah. I met Carol Kay at a NAMM show. And I'm going like, she is like,
Yep.
so that's a lot of bass doing a lot of cool stuff. But yeah, I just the melodies and stuff. I mean, who wouldn't want to play with a Beatle? I mean,
right.
That leads perfectly into this next question, Quintin, because this is one Justin and I, we have a going tally on. So if you had to pick one, Beatles or the Stones, and don't let me down now.
Don't let me down either.
if if I had to pick one, say that again.
Beatles or Stones?
For
Just your preference. The battle of the
Beatles.
Which
battle.
one
of-
would you rather listen to? You know, like what would you put on after we got off here?
Man, I have to say I would listen to Beatles.
Dang it.
And don't get me wrong, but a good friend of mine, Daryl, plays for the Stones. He plays bass for Rolling Stones.
Oh wow.
And it's this, I mean, and the song that I would listen to, which I would go to, is Blackbird. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm so in love with that tune.
That might be one of the most beautiful songs I've ever heard.
That Blackbird.
Yeah.
Have you heard Jocko play it?
Mm-mm.
No.
That's what I mean. That's where this come from.
Yeah.
It's hard to hear.
Yeah, Jaco Pastorius played that song on bass solo, and I went, God, what? and I knew what it was. I was like, Beatles, and he just killed it. And every bass player in the world plays like Jaco. You say what you want. Here's the thing that I'm blessed about. I got a chance to play with Jaco Pastorius when I was 19. I said that. But here's the other kicker. One of my good buddies is Victor Wooten. And I got two bass players one that I just got to meet and was glad I did. But the second one is him that I actually know and hang out with or go stay at his house. The only two bass players that I know of, we got Stanley Clarke, we got Larry Graham, which did a lot for it. But Victor, besides Jaco, he changed the game in the bass world. I mean, he's probably the most copied, besides Jaco, bass player in the world. Everybody wants to do his little, what his brothers they do. And they say, don't you do the Victor? I say, no. I said, I just watch him do it. Wow, I don't want to do that. I mean, I just watch him do it. I'd rather watch him do it and get more enjoyment instead of learning how to do it.
Right.
So I've never learned how to play Victor Wooten style. I don't care to. I mean, I enjoy watching him do it.
Yeah.
And I just do my thing and that's it, But those are the only two bass players I personally know that's got that kind of influence over the world in bass. But man, I'm sorry, but don't get me wrong.
Oh, we both like both, but if I had to pick one, I'm always wanting to rock out the Rolling Stones,
Well, now if you had to ask me concert wise, I would have had to say Rolling Stones.
Yeah.
Rather see
Probably
them
fair.
live.
Yeah. No, I mean, if you had to say, you said go listen to.
Yes.
But if you had to say which band would you rather play with, I would have said the Rolling Stones.
There you go.
Because that would have given, what they, that would just been fun.
Yeah.
So we'll have to tally this one up, one for Garrett and one for me. These are, come on, Garrett.
Fine. All
He
right.
said he'd play with them.
Okay. Fair.
Put it on the sheet. All right, what's the next question? I wrote the paper down and left it outside.
Your next one is
Help me out, Garrett.
Guilty Pleasure.
Oh, yes. What's a guilty pleasure song or artist you listen to? Someone that you wouldn't necessarily know, like people that wouldn't think you would listen to, but you do. I mean, you're well-rounded in a lot of different music, so I guess it wouldn't be too surprising. But
you want to know, and at my age now and today, my guilty pleasure is Woke up in New York City, lying on the floor. Just outside Marcy's West 54. Well, you gonna know my name by the end of the night. Gary Clark Jr.
Yep.
Dude, I
He's
can't get
sick.
enough of. I cannot get enough of Gary Clark Jr. I'm just, you know, I hate to say it, but when he wrote that song, This Land, do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And what he was saying, I mean, when I first heard it, and he said, nigga run, go back where you come from. I went like,
what did you just say?
yeah, I went like, I held my head down, I went like, oh shit. And the first thing that came to my mind is something has happened to him. Because you listen to that whole album and he got Grammys on, and he don't talk about no shit like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's just good music and probably something that he's going through and feeling. But when he wrote that and it came out as a single, I said, some shit has happened that fast.
Yeah.
And it did. And then when he talked about it, you know, and that's sad, but you know the story, right?
No.
Well, the story is
I never looked into it in depth.
He got Grammys and he's making all this money.
Right.
So he bought a farm with a big ass house, you know, them old, like Gone with the Wind looking type. he bought and owned one of those. And a white dude came up and asked who lived here. He said, I do. And he said, there's no way you could live here.
Damn.
That's messed up.
Yeah, I think it was more said than that, but
Oh yeah, I'm sure there was.
But that's how that song, and I went like, damn, you know. But if you listen to his music don't talk about that kind of stuff.
Right.
You know, he's not. I mean, I'm not gonna say he's like me, but like me, I'm not mad. I don't hate people.
Right.
Only way I'm gonna hate you is you do something to me. I don't care what color you are.
Right.
That's just how that is. How you come at me is how it's gonna be, you know.
Right.
You know, that depends on you and it depends, you know, but I'm not you know, you would think the way that I was raised and where I come from, that I would be black militant like a motherfucker, but I'm not. I'm not, you know, I mean, what happened to us was, you know, when they integrated schools, you know, when black and white people went to school, that was me.
Yeah.
So when that started, first it was a little rocky, you know, and it took everybody to get used to it on the black side, the white side, and whatever else. But as the years kept going, everybody got used to seeing each other. And then before you know it, you going over somebody's house for dinner.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it just kind of starts smoothing out. By the time you get into high school, everybody's like, yo, what's up? You know, you playing sports together, you know, everybody getting along, right. and that's what happened. So
there's a lot of good stories about during that time where it was conflicted and whatever, that music really brought the two sides together, man.
If it wasn't for music and sports, I don't know what to say about the world.
I believe you, man. I'm with
I
you.
really don't. I really don't. I mean,
Yeah.
but I I mean, like I said, I played in all white bands. I traveled in the South, Georgia, Florida. I think Florida is one of the racist, most fucked up states you could ever go to.
Really?
Oh, dude, I was all in Florida, in all the little shitty little towns. I would walk into a place and they'd go like, "Oh no, we don't have this nigga didn't just walk up in here." I mean, that's the kind of shit I had to deal with. And I would go out and I just go like, and the dude, he said, "Man, you gonna have to leave on no trouble." I said, "No problem." And I'll just leave.
Damn.
I've had to deal with all kinds of shit.
Bunch of bullshit is what it sounds
But
like.
it didn't stop me from doing what I was doing. It didn't, you know what? And my band members, and when I told them, they go like, "Oh, well, they ready to go down there and do." I said, "Dude,
don't even do it.
It ain't worth it." So by being in a band with all white guys and mostly, and I'm Puerto Rican guy, and they got my back and I got their back, that showed me that, you know what? It ain't what everybody said it is. It can't be. So we can't be just living together in motel rooms and getting along. And they eating off my plate and I'm eating off, and all that shit. I say, this can't be what everybody. So when you live in it, and you live in proof of it, you just, you start thinking a totally different way. And that's just how I am, man. To me, it's all about how you come at me. That's, your color has nothing to do with it. But I'm gonna tell you something funny that I try to laugh. When, I found myself though in my second marriage, because I was just, my second marriage is nothing but, I like I never saw a black person around until my neighbors moved and everything. But I found myself going to places and I'll be in the hood and I'll be locking my doors and shit. I'm going like, I would lock my doors. I'm going like, what the fuck am I doing?
It doesn't matter where you're from or where you're at. If people are desperate, people are desperate. Watch out for anyone.
But now that I'm single and I live where I'm living now, where I live now, I live where black and white live. And that's what I wanted to do. And it's not a bad place. It's just, is where I was living was high scale. That's where my ex-wife is. She's got a nice house. Where I live now is like 10 minutes from there, but it's like a low income area. But they have the same nice houses and everything, just like everybody else do. It just don't cost that much. Yeah. And I said, you know what? That's where I want to live. And where y'all see me at, this is a house. I'm renting a house, a full house, for $390 a month.
Damn.
Oh my gosh.
I got to get my computer charger.
You got a neighbor? Hey man, I ain't mad at that.
But you see what I'm saying? And there's nothing wrong with this house. It's just because it's in a low income. And for what I do, it's smart for me to do that.
Right.
Because our music business goes.
Well, I could only imagine what kind of a year you had with COVID, not being able to get out and play.
Well, the COVID thing, nobody, prepared for. Nobody knew it was going to happen. But before COVID, I've always lived my life planning a year way ahead. So when I rented this place, I already knew I had a year's month of rent. So I ain't have to like be out there busting my ass just to pay rent.
Right.
Right.
So I did it that way. And I was doing double gigs. So I was like saving money. I was just like, saving it, you know. And then when COVID hit, I'm still able to pay, you know, my
Right.
bills and do I didn't have no money coming in. And then I learned about the PUA, the pandemic relief, you know.
Mhm.
So I got that, and I got that money coming in, and I'm sitting around, and but I can still pay for. So basically, that money that they gave me, I saved
Oh yeah.
every week. It's like, why spend it when I can't go nowhere? Ain't shit to do. I mean, the streets of it's like a ghost town everywhere.
Hmm.
So that money I saved.
Right.
And then luckily, when they in Alabama, when they did the taxes on it, if you didn't get more than $10,200, they wiped it out. And I didn't get more than $10,200. I was close, but I didn't. And they wiped it out, and I didn't have to pay taxes on it.
There you go.
So that's just money I got to save in the bank. I mean, I had to, you know, I had to think about it, and you know, but you know, my ex, she was saying, you know, you should get food. I said, that I won't do. I got money,
Right.
and I'm getting money. That don't make no sense to me. I say that's for somebody that really can't. I say I could still go to the store and buy stuff.
Right.
Right.
I said, I'm not doing that. But to make sure that I'm okay, I did the pandemic. So, because we didn't know how long this was going to last.
Right.
So, you know, and I talked to a few folks before I did it, and they said, dude, you got to do it because we don't know what's going to happen. So
Right.
it's better to have something than to have nothing.
Yep.
So that's what I did. And, you know, and I don't even, they still have it going on, but I'm not doing it now because I don't need it. I'm out
Right.
working.
Yep.
I don't make a whole lot of money a month, but one of my gigs is able to pay mostly all my stuff. So my other gigs, I just kind of just chill. And,
Right.
you know, this has nothing to do with tip money. Tip money, I usually make $200 a night in tip money. And I just put that in savings.
Right.
So when I'm short of something, or if I want something I want to go buy, I just put it in the account, go buy it and be done with it, you know. And I have one student that I had during the pandemic that, you know, I'm not gonna really mention, but he paid me a lot, an hour to come for me to teach bass. That helped me out tremendously.
Nice.
Right.
And he paid it and he wanted to do it. He learned. But the beautiful thing about that was once I started doing it, because I didn't really want to teach. Once I started doing it, I started enjoying it. And I was showing him all what I know and stuff about bass. This he's my age and he knows how to play bass. He just he wanted to learn what I do. He wanted to learn that funk. He said, man, I want to learn how you do it. You know, I don't know how you do it, you know. So, you know, and I was showing him all these things. But at the same time, I showed him rock. I showed him all these genres. He was like tripping. He was like, man, get out of here. You know, and this is an older black gentleman, you know, he's going like, that's crazy. But I said, you can play this today if you want. He said, oh, yeah. And, you know, I'm teaching him rock. I said, this is how I do it.
It's cool.
And then he gets it. He go like, yeah, I get it now. But I'm still, you know, he's still coming back now. And I teach him all these cool things about music that nobody's really going to teach you. And a lot of teachers try to make you do it like you said, as far as music, trying to learn it the perfect way. I said, dude, I don't even do that. You just learn it and do it the best way you can and how you feel about it and play it the best that you can. If you keep making mistakes on it, then you got to work on that part where you make mistakes. But you don't have to be so perfect with the bass line. You don't have to.
Yeah.
The song
Right.
has already been done. I mean, what you gonna do? I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, you're not gonna
Reinvent the wheel.
Yeah. So that's what I've been teaching him, and he's been learning a lot. I mean, it's crazy. The last song that I taught him was you know what that is? That's Green Eyed Lady.
Okay. So the audio is still kind of cutting in and out on, so it's hard to hear
Oh.
all of it. But yeah.
But it's old rock,
Yep.
but it's got a cool bass line. And I learned that bass line when I was a kid.
Mhm.
You know, so as I think just from the little time y'all sitting in, y'all could see that my music is not just one-sided.
Yeah.
Right.
I listen to everything, and I'm not afraid to listen to anything new. Because, you know, there are a lot of new artists out there that I'm going like, ooh, boy, they're dope. I'm going to tell you, these women, they are coming out, they are killing the game. They ain't playing. I mean, they are not playing around with these instruments, and they're just, you know, I'm going like, whoa.
Yeah.
they smoking of it. And what's bad about it is they look good and they play like, I mean, they're damn awesome. So you got that combination of both, you know, and to me, looks have a lot to do with what we do. You know, you got to try to look. I mean, I'm working on myself. I don't want my belly to get. I'm losing more weight. You know, we don't want to be like, what's his name? Lead singer. I can't think of his name. But he just released a video and he can't even hardly sing no more. And he got a big old belly and trying to still be an 80s rock star. You can't do that shit and let yourself go like that.
Yeah.
You know, all the bad motherfuckers like Chris Cornell, they gone.
Yep.
You know, so I mean, I don't know what to tell you, but you know, he gonna do it. But that's what I liked about the lead singer for Stone Temple Pilots. He kept himself slim.
Yep.
Even sometimes he look anorexic like a motherfucker. But once he get on that stage, he look like $1 million.
Yep.
Doing what he did, you know, he could still take his shirt off at his age and do his shit, and he could still sing.
That's right.
Yep.
So, you know, you gotta, I mean, you gotta treat yourself like you're a damn athlete, man. You gotta stay in shape if you're gonna keep doing it, you know. That's especially if you in that era of music and looks is a big part of
Yeah.
what you do.
Video era.
It's kind of sad, but it's true.
You can't be walking out on stage like Santa Claus and and singing these rock songs and thinking you doing your shit, you know. You can't. You shouldn't do it. I mean, I ain't mad at you if you do, but you know. But don't think that your fans ain't talking about you, because they are.
On the ride home.
They said, "Oh man, they were them," but you know, I mean, your first impression, you know, you want people to say, damn, that motherfucker still look good, you know.
Yep.
So, what's the other question we had for him?
Fourth
Garrett?
one is also probably going to be hard. So you already play a lot of instruments, but if you could wake up tomorrow and play something you don't know how to play, you can play it down pat. What are you going to pick?
If I could wake up tomorrow and play something that I don't know how to play.
Clarinet.
You know, a wind instrument would be really, really nice. And, you know, I think probably saxophone would be a good instrument for me. If I could wake up and just play the shit out of it, because not only that I could use that to my benefit of what I do, I could do so much with a saxophone. I could do all my horn parts on my music, you know, because they have all these sounds that you could hook up to a sax and make it sound different, you know, but you're still actually playing the wind instrument. But that would be, you know, if I could wake up and, because I could barely sing. I have asthma. There's no way that I can do that.
Yeah.
But I wish that I could do that. That would be the instrument.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Okay. The next question is, if you had a free day or free evening to do whatever you wanted, what would you want to do with that time? What's a good time for you?
Well, the answer to that question is, I have that every day, any damn way. I mean, that's my life. I don't live by the clock until it's time for me to go play.
Yeah.
I really don't. If I don't pay attention to my birthday, it'll go right past me, and I wouldn't even know that today is my birthday. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, but what would I do? I mean, man, from all my travels and traveling and being around people, man, to me, ain't nothing like being at home, just chilling.
Yep.
And doing shit. I know people that say that's some lazy shit. No, it's not. Because, I mean, that's where you can, you know, I like last night, 4th of July, you know, I had some friends, they went downtown Mobile, saw the fireworks, loaded with people.
Right.
But I knew that if I went across the African Town Bridge, was on the flip side of, in the same spot where everybody's watching, on that back road, there's nobody. And that's where I went.
Smart.
And I saw the same fireworks show by myself, and there's nobody there, no traffic coming by, you know, and I'm talking, I'm going like, this is awesome, you know. And I told a friend, I said, I'm done. And she said, that's a great idea. I wish I would have thought of that, because everybody wants to be in that one spot. I knew that on the backside, there would be nobody there. But when that thing is over with, it'll be a bunch of cars because everybody's trying to get out there. So they gonna come that back way to try to get home.
Yeah.
But while it's going on, there's nothing there. And that's where I was. So I went out, saw fireworks, and chilled by myself for a minute, and came back home. And, you know, this is what I do. Everything I got is right here. I mean, it's easy to get lazy, you know. I mean, I got workout equipment. I use it sometimes and it watches me most of the time, you know. So, so you know, but being at home is nothing like being at home, man.
I'm with you. I'm usually a running gun, always getting into something, you know, but the times I have at home, especially by myself, when I can just pick up my banjo or something, I love those evenings.
Yeah.
Hell, I even like reading books, you know. Now when I'm ready to go home after work, go read a book before I go to bed.
I mean, that's nothing. I mean, in this world today, you done seen and done everything, and there's nothing that's really left to do. I mean, it's nothing that's gonna excite you. You go out with your friends, and that's the most important thing. You got friends that you can go hang out with and have a good time. And then when you're done doing that, you go back to where you go and chill. And
Yeah.
It ain't like you know, I know some people my age that they feel like that they gotta they gotta do this, they gotta do that. You know, during the pandemic, they was just going stir crazy.
Mm.
You know, I'm thinking during the pandemic, I'm going like, damn, I'm making money and I ain't got to go nowhere. And I'm just like kicking back, you know, and it's nice outside. I said, you know, what I won't do is just be cooped up in the house. So I got on my bicycle and I went bike riding during the pandemic. I'm doing all this kind of stuff and I'm feeling good. And, you know, and a lot of people getting sick, you know, that's sad, but I think because they didn't get out.
Yeah, I don't understand.
Yeah, a lot of people struggled with that, and if they're not used to that, you know, from the get-go, that people had a terrible time.
Yeah, you can't, I mean, you can't just, you know, be isolated and, you know, and not go out the house and do anything. But at the same time, you shouldn't have to need it.
Right.
Yep.
You shouldn't have to say, oh, I'm gonna go crazy if I don't do, if I don't but those same people, damn man, I wish I had some time off of work, you know. Do that. Then you get the time.
And they don't know what to do.
Yeah. And now you tripping, you know. It's like, come on, man. You know, just take advantage of it.
Yeah.
But
you gotta be comfortable with yourself, I think.
Exactly. But you know what I did learn? Technology. I mean, it would have came anyway, but the pandemic made it happen right away.
Yeah.
And like all this Zoom and all this stuff, I mean, it's hard for companies to fly motherfuckers anywhere now.
Yeah.
When they could just do this.
Yep.
And still get the same thing done, you know, and you know, that's just where we at now. But I tell my musician friends, you know, so you know, can't wait to get back out and play. I say, yeah, you know, I get it, and that's gonna be fun. I said, but here's the thing: all that stuff you did when you were locked up in the house and you were doing musically on net, when you go back out and play, you need to incorporate that with your live stuff so that you can get the best of all of it at the same time. And you have to be disciplined about it and just do it, you know. Don't just set it to the side now that you're back out playing. And no, you keep that happening too.
Yeah.
Because you playing for these people here at home, but you can have the rest of the world seeing you too. And you just keep that happening. And that's how your success is gonna, you know, evaluate, or something good can happen and people can see you, because we're not back in my day where you could say, somebody can call you and say, hey man, I hear you're a good bass player and you do this. And you can say, yeah, you know, I play this and I play here. You can tell them any damn thing. You can't tell nobody any damn thing now, because while you're talking to them, they can just be Googling you and looking you up. They say, this is a lying motherfucker right here. Nothing on him.
He's lying.
Yeah, I'm just saying, you know, that's, so you got to use your tools now so that you got something to help you do whatever you're trying to do.
Yep.
Speaking of technology and all that, where can the viewers find you? Are you on Facebook, or you got all kinds of videos on YouTube? What's the page name?
Yeah, I have, let me see what my Facebook is Cubase Music. Well, that's my music page. My Instagram, I have So basically my Facebook is, my normal page is Quintin Berry. My music page on Facebook is Cubase space music. And my Instagram is Quintin 5063. That's my Instagram.
5063.
Quintin, my name Quintin 5063. And my Twitter, let me see what that is.
Now, if people are listening and they wanted to see you live, where's a good place to see you right now? You're primarily playing around in Alabama currently?
Yeah, I'm in Alabama. I'm not traveling right now. I'm not opposed to traveling, but right now it's good for me, especially with me trying to take care of myself health-wise. But I have a house gig in downtown Mobile. It's called Los Floridias, however you want to say it. It's a Cuban speakeasy.
Oh, cool.
I play there every Friday night. And there's another place I play on the causeway of Mobile called the Bluegill. It's, they have live entertainment. I play there. And they have another place called Felix's Fish Camp, which is owned by the same Bluegill people. I play there every now and then, maybe once or twice a month, and same with Bluegill. But that's all I've been doing. I have a Mexican restaurant that I'll play when they book me. And there's another place over in Fairhope, which is across the bay, called A Bone and Barrel, that I play when they book me. And, I usually do that on a Thursday night, but I can do a Saturday. But to me, for what I do, I try to lead a Saturday so that bands can get in there and play. Me solo, Thursday night is good enough for me. But that's what I do for right now. I'm not trying to do a whole lot because, I'm still trying to figure out how I'm feeling and how to conquer what I'm going through right now, health-wise, but getting older kind of sucks. But it's all good. I try to take care of myself. I'm exercise. When I get done doing this, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go walk.
Yeah.
Yeah. Walk.
Well, we appreciate you being on, and I'll be traveling through Alabama in August. If it lines up right, I'll stop by and see you. Maybe catch a show or something.
Yeah. Bring it on.
I'll bring my banjo and I'll play with you.
Hey, bring it on, man. Shoot. I mean, I just sit here and chill. I don't have I do have a house, but it's a 1-bedroom everything. But it's huge, but because I got my whole studio set up in the living room, my bedroom's back there, the kitchen. I'm looking at houses to buy because I don't want to do this forever.
Yeah.
But I do like the Chickasaw area. And the reason why I want to just go ahead and buy a house with like 2 or 3 bedrooms so that I can have guests,
Right.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, man, I'm just like chilling. I mean, man, they have really nice houses. You can, for example, like a $200,000 or $300,000 house somewhere. You can get that house for like $100,000 in Chickasaw.
Especially right now with the way the market is.
And
it would be
get
great
all that land and you still get that type of house. And it's nice and kitchen laid out. It's just because of where I'm going. And I told some boys, I said, I ain't living in Chickasaw. They worried about their ego. But what they don't understand is a lot of the rich folks in Mobile that make millions of dollars, they moved to Chickasaw. You know why they moved to Chickasaw? So that their tax money
There
They
you
still
go.
make the same money,
Right.
but their money it looks different, because of where they live.
Hmm.
And I'm going like, and they buying up everything, and then they renting all these places out.
Damn.
And and everybody can. I'm going like, dude, you could own one of these spots, and I mean, I was that close, but I'm glad I didn't. But this is right around the corner. There was a house for like $10,000. I said, what the fuck is wrong? But but it might be a little bit that you might have to fix up. But
Yeah.
you know what? In my mind, I'm going like, you know what? I'm not afraid of that. Because in my mind, if that house is still in good tact and it just needs some TLC, you just do one room at a time.
Yep.
And my philosophy is leave the outside ugly.
Nobody looking at you.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
Leave
how
the
I feel
outside.
about I've been wanting to get a camper to travel around in and gut it and make it real nice on the inside, but I was like, I don't want to make the outside look too nice because somebody won't try to break it.
Exactly. Yeah. You don't want it's because in the neighborhood you living in, all the rest of the house kind of look like that. So you leave your house kind of fitting in with the neighborhood. But when you walk in that morgue, they go like, holy shit. This one is laid. And that's how you do it.
Yep. Like the Taj Mahal on the inside.
Yeah, and then in 2 or 3 years, your house is paid for.
Yeah.
Not 30 years.
Exactly.
And you good to go. If you can get your ego to let you do that,
Mm-hmm.
You ain't worried about what your friends gonna say. I'm so way past that stage. I don't.
Me too.
I don't know what to say. I don't. I don't care about a lot of things now.
It's not worth it. It's not worth your energy to worry about everybody else.
Yeah, I keep my place neat and clean. But where I live, I have big trees outside, and they got those big ass roaches. And it's not about if you clean. If they want to come in, they gonna come in. You just got to learn how to keep them out the house and what to use. And I finally learned how to do that. But I'm gonna tell you something funny. This was a while back. One got in, and he was walking across. I mean, this thing was that big. And it's one of those tree bugs, He was walking across, and I said, oh no. I mean, nobody's in the house. I said, oh no. I said, hold up. And they stopped. I said, let me tell you, I live here, you can't be in, I'm talking to a damn roach. I say, you can't, this ain't gonna work. So you and your friends can't be just coming up in here when you think you can. I'm talking to a damn bug. And I said, okay, this was gonna go down. I'm not gonna kill you. I'm gonna catch you and I'm gonna throw you back outside.
Mm-hmm.
So we got a deal, and that's what I did. I called him and I just threw him back out. And I was talking to him. I said, okay, you can't come back in here now, man. And sometimes I wonder, I say, damn, am I going crazy? But in Alabama, they have all these trees. So, and they're probably in areas where you are too, and there's nothing you can do about it. And especially if it rains a lot.
Oh yeah.
But besides all that, I live a good life, I love my son, I love my family, it's all good. Thank y'all for having me.
Thank you for joining us, man.
Appreciate it.
It's good talking with you.
I hope I, talked about the right things. I know everything went musical, but my life.
Oh no, it's fine. Our show's laid back. We'll talk about whatever we want. We have no rules.
I mean, but really, it's cool because I mean, I know that I am a musician, but my life isn't music 24/7.
Right.
And
Right.
so I just do what I do, and